So you want to take vitamin D because your vitamin D levels are low, but before you pop that pill, here's what you need to know. If you've been told that your vitamin D levels are low, it's naturally, or you've been told naturally that you need to take a vitamin D supplement. But there's so many things that people aren't telling you. And we're not a car that if the gas is low, we just put gas in and it's gonna run better. And if our oil's low, we just need to change the oil and put in new oil. That's not how labs work. So there's a few things I wanna share with you today. But remember, this is not medical advice. I'm not here to say, stop taking it or really don't take it. You need to do what you wanna do. But this is my YouTube page. I wanna share what we've done with clients over 25 years that works and get them off this because you can't convert sunlight into a pill. So the first thing you need to know is the supplement is one metabolite of vitamin D, but there's over 17 metabolites of vitamin D in the body that the body naturally produces if we live in a way to support it to do so. And we understand that vitamin D is essential. We understand that we need it. The problem is, why are so many people deficient? And why does everyone think they need 10,000 IU? Well, everyone's deficient because we're UV deficient. We don't go outside enough. We spend way too much out inside. 2, we fear the sun. We're taught to fear the sun because the sun causes skin cancer. Spoons don't make you fat. The sun does not cause skin cancer. Most cases of skin cancer are happening in areas that are not even exposed to the skin, right? 3rd, people are wearing tons and tons of sunscreen. It's in their makeup. People are wearing layers, and we never go outside. And that's the reason people have vitamin D issues, right? Another thing to think about is when it comes to vitamin D, what most doctors are testing is your 25-OH, your storage form. And they're saying it's low. Your storage form, based on my research and what I've learned, it should be around 20 to 30. The problem is they're never, and I don't want to get into the depth of this, but most people aren't testing your active, which is your 125-OH, and that ratio should be 2 to 1. Always 2 to 1. So if you test here and it's 20, and you test this is 40 or even 50, it's close to 2 to 1, you're good. It's when your active is super high, that's when there's inflammation in the system, right? The problem is everyone's so quick to pop a pill these days. My vitamin D low, my doctor told me it's low, I need it because the immune system, yada, yada, yada. There's many implications that happen from taking vitamin D in high doses or for long periods of time. And I've seen it. You want to do an HTMA, you can see it plain as day with high calcium, low potassium, and the list goes on. Why? Because when you take vitamin D in a pill, what it does is it depletes renal potassium and increases calcium in the body. It can affect bone health. It can suppress the immune system. And it can actually increase cholesterol because now you're bypassing how your body naturally kind of produces cholesterol and it's not being used, so it can build up in the system. So what happens is naturally in our body is when we go outside at sunrise and we start going outside at UVA rise, and you can download the app called My Circadian app, use code REALFG, and you can get a free trial. Type in where you live. It's going to tell you sunrise, UVA, UVB, UVA set, UVB set, sunset, based on where you live in the season. It's amazing. But not to go into the depth of this, but when we go out at sunrise and we go out at UVA, many things happen. But one thing in particular that's really important is this helps us to build melanin and eucuronic acid, which is our body's natural sunscreen. It's quite interesting. Our body has this innate ability to do amazing things. And I can tell you firsthand that back in the day, I'd go outside for literally 5 minutes and my nose and face would be beet red. My wife used to call me Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And after time working with sunrise and UVA more and slowly increasing my UVB time, I don't wear sunscreen anymore. I can go outside as long as I want. Of course, there's a limit to everything. And if I feel like I've hit my limit, I come inside or I will put on a layer. But I can spend 2-3 hours or 4 hours outside in the sun, no sunscreen, and not get burnt. And you see that melanin because you get more tanned very easily. That eucuronic acid acts as a sunscreen as well. The other thing it does is it primes your body to actually utilize UVB. And this is the most important time. What do most people do? We spend time inside. We don't get sun at sunrise. We turn on our blue lights. We get on our phone, computer. We wear sunglasses. So we're not allowing our body to utilize nature to sync up with nature. Remember, these different wavelengths of light, at sunrise, red, infrared. We have shorter and longer wavelengths. You know, those shorter wavelengths of blue and violet are there, but not as much. But red, yellow, and orange, longer wavelengths are much more prominent. You know, that UVA is UV photons and blue and green light. That UVB is kind of like that high sun, more intense. What it does is it interacts with 7-dehydrocholesterol in our skin, which makes preformed vitamin D3. What's amazing is that UVB, right? Now we've preconditioned our skin to not burn, right? To protect from that UV so we can utilize that UVB. That interacts with that 7-dehydrocholesterol to produce, and sulfate, to produce vitamin D in our body. But we're using that cholesterol efficiently. When we take vitamin D, we bypass this pathway. If you don't lose it or use it, you lose it. So that cholesterol can actually build up in the system, right? What is one of the most commonly top 3 medications that people are on? One of them being cholesterol medications, right? There's other reasons for that, but there's stress in the system. We need to get outside. We're humans. We need to see light. Blue light that we're inundated with every single day from our phones, our tablets, coffee makers, toothbrushes, everything. Our cars now, that blue light is found nowhere in nature. And it interacts with those neuropsin and melanopsin receptors in our eyes and our skin, which interacts right to our brain through the hypothalamic tract, pushes us sympathetic and keeps us there, right? We're not getting outside enough. I'm not saying this is like the only thing you need to do, but it's really, really important. So there's a lot of problems here because we're thinking that all we can do is take vitamin D to regulate it, but we're creating more problems because we're bypassing that cholesterol, right? And yes, vitamin D has a huge role within the immune system, but there's a reason that we need to get outside to utilize it. Just like there's a reason we need to go out at UVA to activate all those neurotransmitters and support the thyroid and you know, intracellular pregnenolone, and get out at sunrise to support HPA axis, which is in direct control of circadian biology in the sun. So there's so many biological reasons. Those daytime programs are key, just as the nighttime programs are. But we have to start looking at the metabolites. We have to start understanding that we have to look at that 125 to 25 OH ratio. And at the same time, as I mentioned, what happens is most people are on statins, cholesterol-lowering drugs, which can actually lower the body's ability to make vitamin D. Hence, why so many people need to take vitamin D. It's this vicious cycle. But if people started getting outside more, not at UVB alone, but started getting more, especially this time of the year, getting outside around sunrise for a few minutes, UVA for 5 minutes, slowly building their time at UVB, they would not only see a major effect in their mood, how they feel, their immune system, their bone health, and more over time, but they would see a balanced ratio of that 125 to 25 OH, that 2-to-1 ratio. So we have to stop fearing the sun. We have to stop thinking that I don't have to change, all I have to do is take a supplement, right? We realistically have to stop wearing sunglasses, right? So our eyes can see the sun. We have to stop fearing the sun. We have to start trusting our body again and not just relying on supplements. Now, again, this isn't medical advice. If you want to take it, take it. So be it, right? We all are on our own journey. But what I'm saying is this. A lot of you spend a lot of money on supplements, a lot of money on red light therapy, a lot of money on these things that if you, neurotransmitters, tryptophan, serotonin, all these things. But if you step outside and you do it consistently, all these things are free.